Hello and welcome to the Intermittent Fasting Gems with Jen podcast. I'm your host, Jen, a middle-aged Michigan mama, wife, and teacher who in 2021 stumbled upon this crazy cool thing called intermittent fasting. And before I knew it, I'd lost 46 pounds in 4 months and gained an incredible lifestyle filled with complete food freedom. If you're hungry for unique, no-nonsense fasting tips that actually work, you're in the right place. So whether you're walking the dog, folding that last load of laundry, or cruising to your 9 to 5, let's start fasting our way to freedom together. Welcome back, fasting friends. Today we are keeping things short, but very sweet with 3 healthy intermittent fasting summer recipes to crush your cravings and keep you on track with your IF health and weight loss goals. These are my I guess you could say, my 3 go-tos, especially in the summer. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's do this. First up, we have the basic mug cake recipe. Oh my goodness, I love this one. It's so easy, low carb, gluten-free, and the best part, done in just 90 seconds. So cool. It will totally satisfy your sweet tooth without any of the guilt. Okay, so for the basic mug cake recipe, you're going to need 3 tablespoons of almond flour. I like to use the real fine grain almond flour too. Okay, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of low-carb sweetener like Swerve. Now, this is definitely optional. I actually do not use this anymore. I don't really think it needs it because instead I'll talk about what I add to it. But if you want, you could put in a low-carb sweetener like Swerve if you feel like you need that. 1 egg beaten, 1 to 2 tablespoons, I usually probably go closer to 2, of melted butter, and 1 to 2 tablespoons, again, I usually go a little bit closer to 2 tablespoons of sour cream or Greek yogurt. Both are good. I probably would say I prefer the sour cream. It sounds weird, but it really, really helps. Give it a little bit, make the mug cake a little bit more moist. Okay, and then of course you need your very favorite mug. Okay, so how to make this? First, grab your very favorite microwavable, make sure it's microwavable safe mug. And then you are going to mix the wet ingredients together. So the egg, the butter, the sour cream or yogurt, mix it together really good in the mug. Then you're going to add in your dry ingredients. So you're going to add in the almond flour, the baking powder, the sweetener if you're using it. Stir it together really well. And then all you have to do is seriously microwave it for 90 seconds. Now, when you take it out, let it sit for a couple minutes because it is going to be hot. Let it cool for a few minutes, but then go ahead and just top it with whatever sounds good, healthy toppings, of course. I usually put fresh berries on mine, sometimes a little bit of whipping cream, maybe a few Lily's baking chips. Possibilities are endless. Now, that's the basic recipe. You can easily, though, turn it into what I call a muscle mug cake. And that is a kind of a protein-rich mug cake. So you do that by adding in a scoop of your favorite protein powder. I do this all the time. I've actually even, it's like family members because they know I eat weird anyways, but for like birthday parties, instead of being tempted by the birthday cake, which I always am because I love wedding cake, I love birthday cake. But if it's like at a family member house or something like that, then I have even brought, the stuff to make my own like quick mug cake so I can eat that while everybody else is having their birthday cake. I know it's weird, but it works. So I usually do add in the protein powder so that I can get some of that extra protein that we talked about in earlier episodes. But I usually use Quest protein powder. I love the salted caramel. I talk about it a lot. But recently, my daughter has got me hooked on Truvani protein powder. Great nutritional profile. So I have tried a few different flavors of the Truvani. Loving the lemon. Yum. So yeah, get one of those two, Quest or Truvani. Add that to your mug cake, and you will be so glad that you did. You can also add in things like maybe a little bit of vanilla extract, some cocoa or cacao powder, a little bit of peanut butter, maybe PB Fit. You can do some cinnamon, some almonds. So possibilities are endless. So just have fun with it. All right, next up, intermittent fasting favorite summer recipe for dessert number 2 is my Greek yogurt dessert recipe. I feel like I should be totally sick of this by now, but I am not. I have been making it for over 5 years now, and I would say probably 5 out of the 7 nights of the week. This is what my husband and I are having as our after dinner treat while we are watching a couple hours of TV, relaxing, whatever series we're into. Right now, we're into Yellowstone, loving it. I hadn't seen it. He has. And so he was like, oh, I'll rewatch it with you. Anyways, okay. Back to it. So you're going to fall in love with it too, because this dessert is delicious. It's low sugar, keto friendly. It's also packed with healthy fats and plenty of protein, which makes it the perfect way to end your intermittent fasting eating window guilt-free. So for this yummy dessert, you're going to need 1 container of Too Good Greek yogurt. So I kind of go in phases. I think coconut is probably still my favorite. I usually get that at Walmart, and you can't find it everywhere, the coconut, but I like the vanilla. I like the mixed berry. So just take one of those, and then you're going to mix in 1 tablespoon of powdered peanut butter. So PB Fit, whatever you use, a handful of Lily's low sugar baking chips, and then 1 handful of low carb granola. This is kind of something that I've kind of played with too. I kind of went through a blueberry cinnamon phase for a while. Now I really like that. I think it's called Second Nature. It's a Keto Crunch. I think that's what it is. I use the Too Good brand of yogurt because it only has 2 grams of sugar. Again, my favorite's the coconut flavor, but you can use any flavor. This recipe is magic. It's low carb, low sugar, high protein, packed with healthy fats, which means it's going to help you fast easier and longer into your next fast. So love it. And finally, I saved the very best healthy dessert for last. Mason jar protein ice cream. So creamy and satisfying, low carb, keto friendly, packed with protein. Again, the perfect dessert when you want something cold and delicious without the guilt. The best part is how easy it is to make. You do not need a fancy ice cream maker. You don't even need like the Ninja Creamy. You don't need anything like that. So in about a 16-ounce mason jar, you're going to add 1 cup heavy whipping cream, 1 tablespoon of low-carb sweetener. Again, this is optional. Honestly, I don't even add it anymore. I don't feel like I need it. But if you want to, swerve, whatever works for you. 1 tablespoon of your protein powder of choice, again, I love Quest. I tried it with the Truvani lemon the other day. It was delicious. The Quest, I have used the salted caramel and the cinnamon crunch. That is really good for the mason jar ice cream. You're going to need a pinch of salt, 1 teaspoon vanilla or almond extract. They're both good, so just pick one or the other. And then, of course, maybe some optional goodies like maybe a little powdered peanut butter, some Lily's baking chips again. Then what you do is you just screw the lid on and shake it for about 5 minutes straight, kind of like the shake weight. So you don't need to do an additional arm workout that day. This will take care of it. Then you're going to pop it in the freezer for about 3 to 5 hours. Then when you're ready to eat it, let it sit out for a few minutes and then enjoy your creamy homemade ice cream. This recipe, super flexible too, so you can play around with different protein powder flavors and fun mix-ins like I said, like cocoa or cacao powder. You can put some Greek yogurt, low-carb granola in here. The Second Nature Keto Crunch snack mix I use that for a lot of different stuff. I also put it in my keto fat bombs too. Those give it a nice crunch, low carb. So there you have it. Whether you need a post-workout snack, a healthy dessert, or just a little something sweet to keep your summer cravings happy, these 3 recipes should totally do the trick and hit the spot. So they're not going to derail your intermittent fasting progress. And if you love recipes like this, there are plenty more where that came from. Just check out my intermittent fasting recipe library on my website, sowhatifwithjen.com. And I will also leave the link to all 3 of these amazing summer IF dessert recipes on my podcast recommendation page. You can find that in the show notes below. So take care, my fabulous fasting friends. Happy summer. Enjoy the month of June. Enjoy the sunshine. And I will be back in July with another new episode for you. Bye-bye.